that the infrastructure is nowhere near what it would compare with a country like the Maldives, and there are perhaps reasons for this. Explain to our viewers, those who may be wondering, why is the state of infrastructure, air connectivity, sea connectivity, and the accommodations in Lakshwadeep the way they are? Is this conscious policy because of the sensitive ecology of the region, or is it just sheer and plain neglect over the years, Mr. Singh?
No, you cannot say that there's been neglect in the sense that in the last few years, there has been a conscious policy shift towards developing the islands as per se and to develop tourism in the islands, especially Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And yes, you did mention that environmental concerns were there in the past, but allaying these concerns and taking care of these concerns, I'll give you an example how tourism has been sought to be promoted in the Lakshadweep in the recent past. Lakshadweep, as you know, consists of 9 islands. And very recently, the administration very aggressively bid out and did a large number of road shows in various cities. And I was present at the road show that they did in New Delhi at Ashok Hotel. And they were very successful. And they've been able to award 2 islands, namely Suheli and Kadmat, to a leading hotel chain from India, which also, by the way, operates a luxury hotel or a luxury resort in Lakshadweep, in Maldives also. So these two have been awarded, and these two are expected to come up in the next 2-3 years, which will provide that kind of accommodation facility to tourists, which they experience in other international islands such as Lakshadweep or Mauritius or any other country. But you did make the point that infrastructure today in Lakshadweep, there is still, it is work in progress. The air connectivity needs to go up. There is just one, kind of aircraft, the ATRs, which land at Agatti. And consciously, government is trying to upgrade the airport at Agatti and other locations within the island so that we can have direct flights from mainland India, from the major cities in India, and also from some international hubs if possible in the future. But that is definitely going to take time. As far as accommodation is concerned, as the former, the person who was on the panel, Mr. Pitti, said that there are some good resorts which are at different islands in Lakshadweep. However, the numbers are not very large. These 2 islands, which I mentioned, Suheli and Kadmat, will come up in the next few years, but still there is a need for, accommodation across the board. There is need for luxury accommodation as in international locations. There is need also for budget accommodation to take care of tourists from India. So this is a work in progress, but definitely Lakshadweep has the potential to attract both domestic and international tourists because the ecology there, the ecosystem, the marine life, the waters there have a lot to offer to the tourists who wants to visit there, both from India and abroad.
2 islands have been let out, or there is an arrangement with a leading Indian hotel group. Can you expand on what the scope of that arrangement is? And I'm connecting it to the issue of the Maldives tourism model versus the kind of model that this arrangement seeks to put in place.
So essentially under this, what the local administration has done is it took out bids for both, it was bid for both domestic and international operators to take a particular island, the area around there on long lease. And in that terms of that lease, say the lease period would be, say, 50 years or 75 years. And during that period, the operator builds, a luxury resort with properties which are on the beach and also on the water. A certain number of rooms will be on the water and certain number of rooms will be on the beach. And in lieu of that, it pays a certain amount of revenue to the administration. There was a transparent global bidding process that was followed by the local administration, and there was very good response. They did a lot of road shows. As I mentioned, I attended the road show in New Delhi, which was held in Ashok Hotel. And as a result of the bidding process, these 2 locations at Suheli and Kadmat have been awarded to a leading Indian hotel operator, and they have started work. And I'm aware that the planning work is well underway. And we expect that over the next 2-3 years, maximum in a period of 3 years, the new accommodation at par with international quality standards that we see in international locations that are very popular with international tourists should come up in these 2 islands, namely Suheli and Kadmat.